I've clamped them all together in the vise and filed off the old hard edge so that I can run a nice weld across there to hold them all together. I'm going to use the TIG welder and just join them together across the top. There's the weld run along the top. I'll flip it over, do the same on the other side, then I can machine them all as a set. And that's it. Ready to be machined. Then the lugs can be cut off quite easily as one set, and then the whole thing assembled onto the axles. So as well as welding these lugs on the side so that I could weld them together and machine them as a set, Model Engineer's laser also, I don't know if you can see, there goes the spanner, they also etched 2 crosses onto the faces. So the intention is, what I've now done, I've lined up the cross with the centre in my tailstock to give me the centre position of the cross. I have knocked it all square to the chuck face. Check it once more. Drop the phone on the floor, and then we're ready to go. I'll just go around, make sure they're all tight again. Make sure they're all tight, then I can drill, bore and create a hole through the outside, or through one end, and then I'll spin it round and do the other hole as well. So that's the first hole done, bored to just a little bit under 3/4. I'll move it over, do the same again there. I won't show you that, but again, line it up with the crosshair here, drill, get it up to 1/2 inch. I've got bigger drill bits, but they're not as good, and then that gets me big enough to bore, and then bore it to a similar size. So let's go. I suppose I should say, obviously this is the side that I've bored from, so I'm going to keep the same side, but the opposite side has now got a burr on it, so I'm going to deburr it before I set it up. Got a nice little deburring tool. There we go. Burrs are gone. So now that'll sit flat against the face again. Give the face a little wipe, and we'll go from there. I wasn't overly happy with the finish of the laser cutter, but it's the laser cut finish, and I was tempted to leave it, but no, I just wouldn't feel happy. So, see the other side, I first of all hit it with the linisher and tied up most of it, and then I clamped it in the vise and used a file with some coarse emery over it, and I will go finer later on when I'm close to finish. Yeah, just a quick finishing up of that. Before I cut this apart, so I don't lose the orientation, I've stamped them A, B, C and D. The reason I've used A, B, C, D is there's numbers all over the engine, so I didn't really want to use numbers again because you could confuse the numbers, and by doing A, B, C, D, A looks different both ways up, whereas one you could get it the wrong way around, and yeah, that's about it. So it keeps the orientation, and it won't get confused with the numbers elsewhere on the engine. So having decided that I'm going to scrap and start again with this, I've realised I don't need to pull it apart at all, because I can see enough gap there to get the hacksaw through. So I'm just going to cut through there, and I think I can cut through there as well. I think the saw will fit through there, which then will allow me to slacken the eccentrics and just slide them off, ready to reuse. So the wheel's off, and I'm part way through the stub axle that's got the eccentrics on, and yeah, we'll keep going. Excusing the noise, here's the first bit being cut. This is the centerpiece that has the eccentrics on it. Yeah, that can be cutting in the background while I get on with something else. The bit of 20mm silver steel has now turned up from GWR Fasteners via eBay. So I found a piece of tube. It's a nice fit over the axle. I'm going to put that the other way round. Just use the vise to hold it. And then I'll use a bit of bar that's just going to fit through the hole and knock it through with a decent sized hammer. Let's see if I can put this somewhere to show you. So I've got these two pieces of axle cut to length. They just need machining at each end, one end to fit on the wheel, one end to fit on the cranks. So they're the bits of axle that go here and here, and the other pieces have all been cut to just over length as well. They just need finishing to length and machining to be a good tight either shrink fit or press fit into the webs.